Full House. Man, I love that show. Right. Let's see where everyone is. There's a note there. Guy, probably not expecting to hear from me, were you? You know I'm all about surprises. Look, we're gonna head up to the coast next weekend. We're doing the drive from LA to Seattle. I have an interview up there on Tuesday, and Kelly has a friend who's gonna introduce her to some casting people from Vancouver. Can we crash at your place on the way up? We should be pulling through next Friday. I was thinking we could use it as an excuse to jam on our books. I want to see your new stuff and have a draft I want you to take a look at. I'm way beyond knowing what's good or not with my work, so I could really use your advice. And you know I'll give it to you straight about your new book. Is there a title yet? Could be impromptu writer's workshop, I guess. Anyway, I think it'd be fun. Let me know. It's funny that he also already kind of assumes he's letting him know, but he already assumes that he's gonna say yes. Others are like, yeah, we're gonna be there at Friday. Okay, regardless of whether you say yes or not, we're just gonna be in front of your door on Friday. All right. Dan, 1 out of 3 clues found. There's another note. There's 2 clues in here. I'm thinking about... Oh god, that light isn't on. Closest one is 45 minutes away. Like old times. Usually the thing I want to do is like read their memory first. He's coming, isn't he? This is memory.
I'm checking to see if this is a folder.
I thought Tommy was sleeping with us.
Is it me or did his voice change? What the hell? I don't remember that voice. On him? Ah, there he is. Tommy! Oh no, it's not Tommy.
So much for a choco. I wish I hadn't done so much research to find sites and trails, because now I keep catching myself daydreaming about them instead of working. I still need to get out of the house. I've done the Ridge Trail probably 15 times now, and it hardly seems worth it anymore. Finding new spots is half the point. At least Dan promised that as soon as things settled down, he'd come on a camping trip. I don't like him dictating our schedule like that, but I understand the stress he's under. At least he didn't try to shut it down completely. He says he's just trying to manage things the best he can.
Exactly. He's trying to juggle everything without dropping one of the balls. Alright. I don't think there's anything left. There probably isn't. Let's exit. Yeah, you should. Why can't I enter his...
He always figures something out.
Hmm? You saw that, right?
Oh, damn it! You've been spotted. You should get away as soon as...
I knew I saw it.
Oh, no. It was your imagination. Damn it. Oh my god, she's suspicious. That's not good. Why did she turn around?
It was just here.
No, it wasn't. You're imagining things, woman.
It was not just in my head.
Linda has stopped looking for you, but now she's become suspicious. If she spots you again, she'll become spooked, and you won't be able to find a compromise with her in this chapter. You could check the family status by pressing tab. Yeah, definitely gotta be more careful. She's going upstairs too? God damn you, Linda. Davy can bring over his jet. Maybe we can read the thoughts of the little guy then, seeing as he's all alone downstairs. Stay up late.
Meow.
Explore memories.
Let me call his mommy.
Can Davy sleep over?
Aw, it's still that same drawing. He feels very sad towards his dad, I feel. It's just getting out of there.
It's not that I don't like having fun, it's just there's a rhythm to writing, a routine, muscle memory. Trying to keep notes in a notebook isn't the same as sitting down to a blank page and feeling the silence, knowing that you've got to make that typewriter make some noise. There's certainly something to be said for getting away from your work for a bit, but there's no getting away from the book this late in the game. Only a feeling that you're not working as hard as you should be. There's a busted mailbox on Bypass 66 to prove it.
He broke it. 3. Guess the others are upstairs then? Yeah.
You can sleep with us.
What about Tommy?
Damn it! Please tell me she didn't find me again. He's sitting there relaxing.
Hey, Mommy. Hey, honey. No.
Right. We read that thingy over there. I don't think there's anything in the living room. So the only thing left is the kitchen. Honey, I'm sorry it's been so long since my last letter. But we've been all over the place. Have you gotten settled into that big house yet? I hope getting away from everything has been a help for you and Dan. I'm writing because, speaking of getting away, your father and I are going to take a road trip. I found some good AARP deals, and with your father only working part-time, it wasn't very hard to arrange time off. It's been too long since our last trip. I've always enjoyed changes of scenery, and as you're hopefully learning, it can be just the thing a marriage needs. Lord knows it's helped us. The trip won't take us close enough to the shore to come visit, I'm sorry to say, and if you write back, we'll be gone before your letter arrives. We'll call if one of our motels has long distance, but if we don't get a chance to call, send my love to Dan and Thomas. Thomas. You know your father and I want the best for you all. Love, Mom. Tommy, apparently he misses his friend. You can kind of sense that. Check sofa, call Chamber of Commerce, hotels in town, double check. T and K trip when Dan gets back. What's T and K trip? We can already kind of. Is there something in here? The bathrooms almost seem kind of unnecessary. As of now, at least. We can read her thoughts. Wash that ugly sweater Mom and Dad gave me so they can see me wearing it. How does she know they're coming over though? She didn't make any promises.
Meow.
No, we should head to his room. He's not here right now. Another drawing of him and his friend, Ryan or something?
I'm faster. Meow.
Where is he? That light is off. God, he's just been typing away over here. I don't think there's 2 clues in here.
Oh, I hope that's fine. Here we
Oh,
go.
he's going away.
I got her.
I took Tynan up on the book jam. He hasn't seen a word of my new book, and fresh eyes are priceless. He bailed me out on Tramer's Way. I hope he understands how much of that book worked because of him. I still remember when we were walking to the pond, and he had the idea about using newspaper clips and police reports. Of course, no matter how many times I tell interviewers it was his idea, they just keep giving me the credit. Maybe they just want the tidy auteur version. Oh well, can't change that. Let's just hope he has an idea for this one too. Freddy can't get here soon enough.
Here we go.
The readers from... Didn't we already read this? The readers of Eugene and the surrounding area, judging by the turnout, got a rare treat. Yeah, we definitely read this. He shared a selection of his most recent, still untitled and due to. Although the book isn't for you. No! Oh, sneaky, sneaky woman. That's not... Did we get all of them? I suppose so. Where's Dan? There he is. Are there any clues over here? There's this note. I talked to Davy's parents and they're okay with him sleeping over. They said they'd take care of Tommy some weekend in return. I know the timing isn't great, but maybe we can work something out. Let's talk when you get up, Lynn. Check those fishing poles. Maybe we could find a pond. He wants to go fishing. We can use the blue sheets to make a sofa fort. This is what I kind of feel. These are all the choices, but it's kind of unclear what you're exactly choosing. I mean, obviously the blue sheets is something, a hint towards him making a fort with his friend so his friend can come over. And it kind of seems from all the clues that every single one of them have a guest coming over. And it all kind of falls on the same, perhaps not the same day, but kind of overlapping days. So it will be, obviously that's why the chapter is called Full House. A lot of people are coming over, even though it feels like it was just bad communication between them all. I mean, sure, the letter kind of came unnoticed from Dan's friend, and as well as his mom and dad, they're on a road trip, so they can't really delay coming here either. It's also unfortunate, and even though it's kind of none of their fault, the fact that they're gonna have some sort of problems because of it is, I feel, is so unfortunate. And for Tommy, yeah. Tommy misses his friend. Fishing poles. He wants to go fishing with that friend then, the guy that's coming over. Ugly sweater. Mom and dad gave it to me. So I mean, for Linda, she's having kind of a rough patch. Her mom and dad, it's probably the first time seeing her mom and dad after the funeral of her grandma, so that's something you gotta consider as well. You kind of disappointed her at the funeral, so you kind of got to give her this as well. So I feel like Dan is the one that has to make the sacrifice this time. Or Tommy, but Tommy's friend. Alright, let's just do it. I feel like Linda first, and then Tommy. Compromise with Tommy. Alright.
Maybe.
Ugly sweater.
Hey, Mommy. Hey, Mommy.
There's a note there. Didn't want to bother you while you were working, but didn't want to forget again. Been meaning to ask, have you found any ponds on our hikes? Creeks, no rush, just curious. Where's an ugly sweater? Did we read that? Oh my god, she's gonna sit there.
Again?
Come here, woman. This is so dangerous. If I go down now, I'm pretty sure she's
I'll
just
put
gonna
that on the
turn
list.
around and spot me. God damn it. Is this the sweater? I suppose it is. We'll just go with the sweater. I feel like we definitely owe Linda that. And then compromise. Trust me, it had nothing to do with the fact that she was suspicious of me. Not at all. Blue sheets. That's probably in his room. Blue sheets. There we go. Selecting the sheets. Yep. Alright, let's whisper it to Dan. I mean, is his book gonna hurt that much from the fact that his friend... What's this? Diary of Claire Bradford, September 8th, 1961. Roger and I talked everything over today, and it was a mistake to speak so soon. I never would have brought any of this up without making up my mind first. Now I've only made things more difficult. I guess I was daydreaming, and he asked me what was on my mind. And before I could help it, it just came out, although maybe I wanted to get it off my chest. I told him I wasn't sure it was the right time to get married, and it upset him badly. It didn't matter how many times I told him that I wasn't calling it off, that I just had questions, that I hadn't made up my mind either way. All he heard was that I didn't love him anymore, which isn't true at all, but it didn't matter how many times I said that either. He's gone off for a drive, and now I'm here in the house alone, and I think I've made up my mind. I hope he gets back soon so I can tell him. This is like a side story or something. This gotta have some sort of meaning. Linda was so excited to see her parents that she almost felt happy putting on this hideous sweater that they'd given the previous Christmas. She paid close attention to how her mother and father interacted, and more than once she and Dan didn't talk about their own marriage in that context. The visit was a success, and the father was well-behaved by his standards. It's getting more difficult to read. Dan knew how important it was for Tommy to play with his friends his age, so he grabbed the sheets and gave Tommy a few tips of the finer points of structural engineering and self-fort construction. The extra house guests meant the boys had to keep the noise down and play quietly, which puts a damper on their fun. Well, it's better than just, Dan hated missing a chance to get feedback on his book, and he found the company distracting. He tried to work through the commotion, but he never got into a rhythm. He couldn't even focus long enough to do a small correction, so instead he accepted the role of selfless host and spent the weekend running errands, not working. Oh wow. He didn't work on his book at all.